When you find yourself way, way, way out there deep in space, on a ball of dirt, rock, and water, spinning around a huge ball of nuclear fusion at 66,000 miles per hour, then you find yourself outside of the grid. Welcome to my show. It's just me and the roosters today. I've been thinking about Richard Allen. I'm calling him the Elusive Contingent. Contingent because he's in the mix, but he's only a contingent. He's not necessarily everyone's the contingent. Even last time that we've heard of law enforcement, when they spoke of such matters, they said that they felt that there were other actors involved. Now we find ourselves with them maybe not talking about that so much. Maybe they're not talking about that at all now. Maybe they finally understood old Brad was right. I don't know that I'm right or wrong. I don't know if there is such of a thing. I don't even know what actors mean in terms of what the defense is trying to say. But I do know this. This Richard Allen is an elusive entity. He's the elusive contingent. Contingent upon all things in this case. He's there. I mean, he's a part of this thing. He's probably all of it. There's 2 or 3 things that have been floating around in my head with it lately. This is, one. Of course, my feeling is that, I don't know what it would be like to do a murder or something like that. But I do know that what it's like to, kill something, and actually I know how to kill 2 things from 2 different ways. I've killed things with my vehicle, and I've killed things with a gun. Now, my internal thing says that whenever you kill something, you leave, and that's going to be scenario 2, because you want to try to get on your way. I think everybody wants to get on the way all the time, but if you kill something intentionally, like if I kill a deer, and I've only killed 2 deer in my whole life, 2 deers, whatever you want to call them. 2 deers. Anyway, so, and I was young. It was before I was 14, so I don't really know a lot about killing from that way. But at the time, I couldn't wait to get out of the woods, because this really wasn't my thing. I was leaned up against a tree, killed this 10-point buck with a 22-inch spread. Number 1, because my papa told me where to go and sit. And he went up there with me a few times, and he said, here's, it'd be like, you sit here all day, you're going to get this. This is where he comes and drinks every day. Fresh tracks, he's here every day. There's yesterday's tracks, day 4. So it's a guaranteed kill. And I sat there, and I had a couple of biscuits that my grandmother had made. And I had my little jam box probably playing Quiet Riot, because that was about that time, about 83 or so. Come on, feel the noise. And I was playing it, The deer walks up. I had a slug. Pow! Shot the deer. And it did not fall. It left. And then my Uncle Ronnie, who passed away a year or so ago, came up there and said, well, let's get him. And I was like, I don't give a shit. This thing's gone, man. We'll never get him. It was a huge deer, but, maybe it wasn't as big as I thought it was. Well, he gets out there and hunts it down. He wanted to find that deer. He wanted to get the kill because he knew what was up there, too. He was, kind of in the same area. We're all hunting that same big deer, when I say the same area, the same 40-acre plot, The deer runs around a huge area, But anyway, so these girls weren't around a big area. They were in a small area. I mean, as a hunter, though, my Uncle Ronnie, he wanted to chase that deer down, and he found it. He chased the blood down, tracked the blood down, and he found it. But me, I was ready to tail out of there. That's one case. It's an intentional kill. But with old Ricky Bobby, little Ricky, I don't think that he was there. I don't think it was intentional. Well, I think it's intentional. I don't think it was planned. He just didn't. This is one theory, this is the dumb Ricky. Now, there's a smart Ricky theory, too. But the dumb Ricky theory is going to tell you, well, he was out there, he's pissed off, he's drunk, he's drugged out. He's leaning against a tree and he's peeing, and the girls walk by. And it's a laugh, giggle, his feelings get hurt, whatever. I don't know what happened. Some kind of weird scenario. And it's, you see people on these videos and all these little, if you scroll your phone long enough, you'll see a fight scene somewhere, or go to Reddit, and you'll see people just go off the handle for the smallest of fucking reasons. And the next thing you know, they're killing somebody. Dead. But Ricky, Richard Allen, I don't know. I think he was. This is this theory, and I've got like percentages on each one. Okay, so this theory is that he walks down there and he does all this. He's angry. He's drunk. He's high. I think he'd lost a lot of weight during that time. He's probably on drugs. I mean, that's a big thing. You get overweight and not happy with life, and you want to lose some weight. All these folks around me. You get around people and you buy some meth, and the next thing you know, you look up on a wall and you see symbols and shit like that, because a lot of people that are very risky, and I don't know, but you see these symbols everywhere. Anyway, so you're out there that day and you're drunk and you're snorting that meth that you just bought at this dude's house with that picture on the wall, and you're out there and you get pissed off and you run them down the hill and you run them across the water and you stab everybody and everybody's dead, and then you sit there and you go, holy shit, as you're wiping off your knife on the tree. That's where I think he walked up there, he just got through killing, he swung his knife down and he saw that there was blood there, and he just went with one side of the blade, make the top part of the F, and the other side of the blade to cut the blade off so you don't have blood on his blade. That's the first part. That's what I think it is. And I think he sit there and he looked at it and he was like going, ooh, what? That's that thing I saw at that dude's house the other day. Because he just momentarily, and he saw what he had done. He was like, oh, fuck. I got to get this cleaned up. I can't let this be me. Oh my God. Okay. And he cleans up. Let's blend it in with this right here, And he's heard about this stuff, Like I was saying the other day in the conversation on Discord, I truly believe that, Ricky is about a year younger than me. And I guarantee you that I've heard of it by the time I was 44 years old whenever he did these murders. So he heard about it. I mean, if you're anybody who has any kind of free time whatsoever and you're, one of my assumptions is that he was adopted. And he probably knew he was adopted. I don't know. Maybe he was trying at some point in time in his life to figure out something about something. If you're adopted, if you don't know your parents or something, it's just you feel lost. So, I've been in situations where I didn't have a parent for a while. It just happens when you're young, and then, you try to give it a leg. Even though there's a part of the leg missing, you try to put something there, okay? And sometimes people look into these type research avenues. Well, anyway, so I think that's very possible. I think I give that scenario of Rick Allen walking down through there. He goes there to chill out. Hell, he may go there to commit suicide. I don't know. He's going there for some reason. He probably went there a lot. I think he did go there a lot. And I don't know. I got a bear tag on my hunting license this year, so that's kind of weird. So, I mean, everybody around here is advising if you're out just cruising around the woods, you probably want to carry a gun. Somebody out there needs to have guns. So if there's going to be a park or something, because you just never know. Those things kind of gravitate to bears and such, kind of gravitate to stuff like that because there's, food. They're not really trying to get to you necessarily, unless they're brown, I think the brown ones are the ones that you need to be scared of. The black ones, you need to run that way. Anyway, enough with the bear talk. But I mean, carrying a gun is not unreasonable. I talk to a lot of people that carry guns all the time. I don't carry a gun all the time. Don't feel the need to carry a gun all the time. Don't want to have to be carrying it around. It's dangerous. I don't even trust myself to. Okay, gets there. He something happens. Giggle, bad, not good. Chase him down. That's one scenario. Of course, I got a million. And I don't know, if I start thinking about it too much, I start changing what I think. But, so, the Odin part, he saw the elf, he kind of fixed up the scene to kind of match what he knows about Odinism, quote unquote Odinism, paganism, heathenry, whatever. You know, again, like I said before in the earlier podcast, I've never heard of quote unquote Odinism. Odinism, anyway, there's all kinds of fine lines you can go across that and talk about some things that you don't want to hear about on this channel today. But anyway, so it's a cover-up. It's staging. That's what all the police, the law enforcement has suggested before. I don't know. They said it. Robert Ives said that there was staging and that there are specific things associated with this scene. So anyway, so he... now, this could also explain some of the other stuff, you know. This could also explain the smart Ricky, too. So let's go to that, and then I'll just leave it at that for today. So the dumb Ricky is that he just walked out there, and he just pulled a gun, he shot these people, and there was no planning involved. He knew some elves, you know, whatever kind of scenes, I forget the name of the thing, Ansus, whatever it is. He knew some of these symbols, and he put them on there, and then he tried to stage the scene to look like that. And then he left, and he's been thinking about it for 5, 6, 7 years now. So he's been sitting there in his head every single day for all of this time. He's had this time to think about it. He's sitting there thinking, you know, what's going to happen when I get caught? I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that. You know, so he has to do all these things. He knows, you know, if he's any kind of a sentient being at all, he's thinking about this. He is thinking of this entire time that he's been loose. He's been thinking about this. It has not left his mind. You don't, in that short period of time, forget something like that. Because it's going to be traumatic for anybody. For him, it's going to be traumatic for him, too. Probably. You know, I mean, you know, unless he's just an ingrained killer. Now, you're assuming that the dumb Ricky is the one who killed him, which is... But the smart Ricky's doing the defense, the staging, because, you know, if all he's got to do to get out of this, and that would be... I don't know what that would be. And then you have this, you know, the people inside the prisons, you know, that have these symbols on there. You know, that's still the kind of the smart Ricky. But then I thought, let's just go from, you know, the dumb Ricky to the smart Ricky. Now let's go to the conspiratorial Brad. I was like, you know, just give it credence for 1 second and assume that what this guy is saying is correctamundo. You know, assume that there is some kind of a tie to these guys. I don't know what it could be, but again, you know, it goes back into a dumb Ricky. And I think Ricky is like sitting there thinking all these years, thinking, I got to be a smarter Ricky. Okay, so he got dumb Ricky, got into some other kind of a scenario with these folks. I don't know. It's very possible that he got into something and then, who knows? I mean, who knows exactly how he could have got tied up with these folks? But then I started thinking about it. The other scenario with this is the most interesting one to me, is that maybe perhaps they are fucking with him in prison because it's known. And a lot of people, probably specifically inside of the law enforcement people, they'll know. I mean, they're going to know more than you think they know, more than they should know, probably. But, so they're going to be, I mean, if you are really a pagan and you, Norse pagan, and you really believe, that's really what you are. I mean, you're not just faking it like some Christian there showing up at a meeting or doing it, you know, ritualistically. But I'm talking about you are that. You believe that, you know. I'm talking about that's what you are. That's what you is. You are a pagan. You are a Norse pagan. So if you believe that and you heard that Richard M. Allen of Delphi, Indiana, killed people in a town where there are other known pagans, and they initiated symbology of their religion. Richard Allen, these people heard that and they realized that Richard Allen used their imagery at his kill site, which I don't think that Odin would like that if they really believe that. If they believe that Odin is their god, that's who they consider God. Well, truthfully, and you got to think about it. You go, oh yeah, God. Not everybody believes like you believe. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been brought up totally different, and their mind frame is totally different. Just go to another country, you'll see. But if they think that Richard Allen has offended Odin, I could see where there could be some extra pressure put on him. And I'm telling you right now, this whole case is nothing but esotericism. There's some shit surrounding those girls and Richard Allen. Maybe it's surrounding Richard Allen. I have no idea. Must have been Richard Allen. There's something going on with this Richard Allen dude. I mean, because number one, just think about this. Let's just assume that Kegan Kline and his little crew were not involved with the murders. But that's an evil that's chased. But they are communicating with these girls. So you have that evil chasing those girls across that bridge that day. You have also Richard Allen chasing those girls across the bridge that day. That's at least two evils right there. We have no idea what all's going on with this Richard Allen. We don't know what he's the elusive contingent. We don't know there's no social media presence. You see very few pictures of him, and they're all basically after the murders. There's a few before of him, fat and happy. That's why I say he got on meth. He was fat and happy laying up under a shelf at Walmart, And I don't know. I don't get it unless there really is a dumb Ricky and a smart Ricky in my brain. That's the only way that I can make sense of it. But I do wonder what's going to happen. I was talking about these esoteric things. I do wonder what's going to happen here on Halloween. Basically they had the big press release last year on Halloween. This case, they have another one. Another one scheduled on, I forget the date of it. I don't know. Maybe it was the 13th, 26th, something. I don't know what the 16th. When is it? I don't know. You have to tell me on that one. But so the fact that there's one on Halloween is weird. The fact that the girls were found dead on, and see, here's why I think it's really weird. Because really, this is the fall-winter reference here. So at the very beginning of quote-unquote fall, whenever the harvest is in, that's Halloween, the harvest is in, there are certain celebrations, specifically in Odinism, well, in every culture, the harvest was in, okay? And the festival, there's a name for it. What is it called? It's a blot. So we're at a blot. We can go Google it later or something. I don't know. Oh, I'm frustrated. I can't remember the name of the blot that's going on right now, or will be on in a couple of days. But it's blot. But it's dealt with the whole. If you go to Wikipedia and read about it, it says something about, it's like something that you don't really let outsiders in. Specifically, if they're like a Christian, you wouldn't let them in. If they weren't Odinists, you basically wouldn't let them in. They weren't part of the family. So it was kind of a very closed homestead type thing. In other words, like a community, small community. And 2 or 3 of those communities may overlap or do certain things, or may have overlap, but everything is tended to, and basically by the female head of the household, the female of the household, of the homestead, the head female. So, there is sacrifice, and some of the readings I did on it was like, if something's been bad, then you gotta take care of it. You gotta sacrifice it. You gotta give it to God, Odin, whatever. So you have that, and then you also have another very similar thing going on about the time that the murders occurred. There, if you look it up, there's it has really nothing to do In fact, I think it's the 13th and 14th. It's kind of weird. So there are some other Odin paganistic things tied to this case. And we just don't know about Ricky. We don't. Again, he is the elusive contingent, and we don't know what goes on in Ricky's brain. The murderer, the psychotic killer. We don't know what? Ricky, why did you kill these girls? Did you allow yourself to get suckered to a cult? No, I don't think so. Most of those people are not like you, Ricky. Why did you kill these girls? Did they get mad at you? Are they punishing you for killing those girls and using those symbols, Ricky? We'll come back to you later, Ricky.